Okay, take two, because the first one, I don't read my stuff aloud enough that I'm practiced at it. And I stumble over my own words because I'm usually just thinking about how they sound and not reading them how they sound. Mix and match. But anyway, this is from April 11th, just a little while ago. And also, I'm still trying to figure out exactly. I just wanted to be standing because I feel like I'm sitting too much. And it's like, yeah, that's comfortable and all, but I'm trying to figure out other things. And I kind of wanted to be standing. I like standing a little bit more. It gives me more, I feel more room to maneuver instead of being trapped in that little frame. So anyway, clouds. Mostly cloudy mornings. I have noticed that I hadn't had any photos of sunrises recently. A shame, too, what with my having had some days off in a row to capture a nice sampling of them. I would even think about it, set my alarm even to be up in time to venture out, but then check the cloud forecast and see that it is going to be another gray dawn. But even then, sometimes the forecast isn't entirely accurate, and there might be a break. And many times, more often than not, the presence of clouds before and during a ritual sunrise is not unwelcome. Less than a nuisance or a bother, a hindrance or an obstacle, but a contrasting, reflecting surface to add dimension and a singularity of character to the event of daybreak. And clouds themselves, by themselves, are fascinating in their own way, in their own right, just a tad wanting for the inspiration of color. But they do have that ability to breathe and feel alive. Watch a spell and an entire skyscape can be very seductively engaging, entrancing and hypnotic, taking an effort to break away, to resume the normal, mundane human locomotion. Cloud gazing, one of the less popular of the gazings. Boring, dreary, and dull, deceptively so. There's a lot of energy up there, potential and kinetic. A fortune teller to read the mind of the atmosphere. What is waiting in the wind? What does oceanic air predict? The information discernible and plain to see, of the recent past, of the current, and of the what is on its way. Harbingers, omens, and portents. Always in motion, but never guaranteed to be, exactly as it seems. An atmosphere alive. A breathing, respiring, spanning aether, an atmosphere ephemera phenomenon. So I would, despite prediction and forecast, many days be prepared to go out and see what the sky told, but some days just feel too gray, too tired, too distant, and staying indoors in the warm, close embrace of blankets is the coveted available action. Much goes with all the other undocumented, unrecorded, yet noticed and appreciated moments that go unshared. It is a beautiful world, despite what one sees in human-related information dispensaries. News and media less of medicine, more of toxin on the regular. Stressful and confusing to sift and cipher through the chaos, chatter and noise, the absurd and the inane, the babble. Paying less attention, the only therapeutic remedy, but it does not fix anything to know less about the enemy. Staying apprised of the conditions despite the tax exacted. The wars on perception and reality, of marketing and selling promises of readily consumable, easily digestible news bites. To incite, encourage, appeal to despair, sadness, outrage, heartache, and with some hopeful stories thrown in so it isn't all too bad. Dosing the public just so, to keep public opinion where public opinion is wanted, in the pockets, at the ready. Following directions, the hype, the tide, the sway of political, economical, and theatrical puppeteers, web spinners and talking heads, maneuverings, weight shifting to see how the world stage plays out, and ever ready to change reality to suit, to fit their own predictions. How droll and tiresome. But it can appear like magic to the initiate, the novice, the unindoctrinated. The last thing that anyone wants anyone else to see is the strings. String theory takes on a new connotation. A sadness dwells and blossoms, takes root, ripens and rottens on the vine, giving way to hate speech, misunderstanding, propaganda, human carnivorous consumption. A sort of species-wide self-annihilation. Are we not all on the same side? Same species, same planet? It isn't not all, in all of our best interest to make a go of it, find a way to balance and not destroy all beauty in the process? If we destroy all life in favor of our own life, then we are killing ourselves too, but we only save ourselves for last, watching everything perish and burn first. Seems counterintuitive, but such is human paradoxicality. It does not make sense, but yet, and still, the human addict. A species in addiction, untreated, but beginning to sense the beginning of the end of life unchecked, unbalanced, unaccounted. There are repercussions and consequences, building up a debt recompense, to be paid, fulfilled. The check can no longer be passed on to the next generation, the next generation. It must be claimed, taken responsibility for, owned, reconciled, repaired, respared. All life is created equally. It is just that some life is created more equally than others. A paraphrasing borrowed from Animal Farm, I think George Orwell. It feels like a great balderdash of idiocy, a grand joke, not very funny, not funny at all, but such is humanity, a lunacy, this asylum earth. But it really is all we got, the only one, the only one, the only one. We cannot hide from these problems. The debt is growing. It will be paid, but must at first be paid by those who are innocent, those who harbored the only misfortune of sharing the same planet with an overwhelmingly successful narcissistic species. Our success, our hubris, our arrogance being the element of our own humbling in many instances throughout time. Via pain, grief, and loss do we ever even begin to learn anything, it seems. And then every generation forgets the previous lessons and must be taught again in new contexts. I reserve grave misgivings for this human race, but maintain my own flawed, skewed, and biased perspectives on all matters, my own mental wanderings always fluctuating with my mood, motive, and motif. What am I saying? Why am I saying? What am I trying to convey? Who am I talking to? Who is the audience? These are unimportant to me. I am just writing, exercising, putting down words, because. I don't know. But this is what I do, to find some sense in the nonsense, to organize and relieve, or to calm down. If it is a mad world, after all, it does not have to be, but it sure does feel to be. Though feelings aren't facts, and feelings are fleeting, beware my constancy. Yeah, so, clouds. Yeah. And the post after that. Perspective. It is a hell of a thing. Take whatever meaning one wants. What kind of world does one see? What kind of world can one endure? Better question, what kind of world can one create? Do not accept the world as is. Imagine the world as it could be. Not that it should be, because everyone has their own ideas, but just that it could be. This used to be an anthem song of mine, long ago, long ago. It still resonates, has weight, depth, measure, and gravitas. A yearning imperative, an understanding defeating lament. But the meaning has changed. The song the same. I have changed. I no longer need this song to mean what I used to think it was about. I don't really remember how I used to think, who I used to be. Lingering sad, but residual solace of triumph, coming back to life. Not better, just different. More real, less artificial. Less pretend, more magic. One of potential and promise. A life sentence. Dang it. If it is a mad world, What if I am actually one of the sane ones? A minority, to be sure. Best to keep my thoughts to myself. Don't want to get found out. Find myself being corrected in order to help you see things the right way. I will mind my thoughts and words, censor myself appropriately, not to draw attention. Play along. No need to rouse suspicion. Just kidding. Just teasing. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. And then I had a link to the music video of Gary Jules' Mad World. And because I always really like that song. I guess it's still, I like it okay. And, yeah. So, anyway, those were my readings. For the ones that I guess I chose, or they chose me to read this evening for whatever reason. I wanted to just be up, and yeah, I'm a little bit further away from the camera, so I don't know how to like bridge that gap. So I need to do something with if I want to be standing but closer. So I'll work on it. And then lighting and everything, it's a bit dark. So. But I've even thought about doing one of these outside. Can you imagine? Like outside? It's like I would be, I don't know how I would do that because I have no private space outside. So, anyway, I guess that's all I got. I should just wrap it up, and I'm going to walk around out of view and then back in and then go. So, from here, from this side, I will just say good night, and yeah, until next time.